Hey folks, Kamar Ellis here with another installment of I Love Investments. Actually, today is episode number 4. So we're making progress, kicking down some doors, making people scream, and teaching y'all about investments and finance. So today, we just want to have a quick dialogue about something that's not investments. It's actually about finance or financials. It's actually financial literacy. Now, somebody asked me, Kamari, why do you hate financial literacy? Now, that might be a shock to a lot of people hearing that for the first time because I am always talking about money. And just to be clear, I don't begrudge anyone out there teaching about money and doing these financial literacy programs, but I think from a 50,000 foot view, a macro view, I think the perspective is a little off. And I just want to talk about today. I'll just give you my top 7 reasons why I hate financial literacy programs, and I want you to tell me what you think. So, number one, America's got a problem. So as we talk about this, I want to frame it out a little bit. America's got a problem. $3.3 trillion in consumer debt. $29,000 in your average student loan. And actually in Pennsylvania, the average student loan in Pennsylvania is about $34,000. The average time on unemployment after a person gets laid off or loses their job is 30 weeks. Doesn't sound like a stable nation when it comes to finances. So, I'm just going to lay out some of the issues I had with financial literacy programs. The very first one, numero uno, they're very consumer focused or materialistic focused. Everything is about getting a car, getting a new credit card, getting a house, getting a mortgage. And don't get me wrong, none of those things on the surface are bad. There's nothing wrong with any of those. A lot of times they're actually pretty good. But when you're doing something just for a sole outcome of some materialistic object, I think it's a problem. And what's the underneath lying objective? They don't really talk about that. It's, how do you fix your credit so you can get a credit card? How do you fix your credit so you can buy a house? How do you fix your credit so you can get a car? You don't need credit to do any of those things. And everything, a lot of times, is credit driven now. I just said consumer credit is $3.4 trillion. There's no coincidence that a lot of these programs are directly linked. We're talking about credit, which drives consumer lending up. By the way, U.S. economy, 67% driven by consumer spending. GDP, 67%. Gross domestic product, excuse me. So that's how we measure the economy. 67% of it is from consumer spending. So we are challenged and almost forced to spend. When you watch TV all day long, you see commercials. Everything is about spending. So there's not much about creating, producing, or developing. And to me, that's what everything should be about. Especially when we're talking about finance. So it's not from a materialistic standpoint. It's more from a creative standpoint, a development standpoint, a production standpoint. And that's some of the things I don't see a lot of times in these financial literacy courses. They talk about a bank book and balancing that, and that's fine. But again, it's all about spending money. I think a lot of these courses are a bit short-sighted. This is number 2. I think a lot of these courses are a bit short-sighted because you can't teach money in one day. I see a lot of these financial literacy courses, they come through for a day. They'll do a workshop here, a workshop there. And, it's kind of like, anybody who's coming in, they'll help. And in some instances, it does help. Like I said, I don't want to begrudge anybody, but money is more of a lifelong kind of thing. And it's just like language, anything else. I don't see how a person can truly master something by doing it once or for one day. So that's number 2. Number 3, it should be about money mastery and not money literacy or financial literacy. To me, every time I hear that word literacy, it's like your child and they're reading and they're just first starting to read and they're 2 and 3 and 4 and they're starting to read their little books. Now, do you say, I just want my child to be literate? Or do you say, I want my child to be fluent or masterful? I know me. I want my child to be fluent and masterful, not just literate. That's like the average. That's like the standard. I don't want anything standard. I don't want anything average. We should shoot more for that. Now, with any other field of study, we want excellence. Mathematics, we want excellence. Science, we want excellence. Athletics, we want excellence. Entertainment, we want excellence. when it comes to money, it's blah. I don't like it. I'm afraid of it. So I really think we got to change the focus around that. So the other thing is, so this is number 4. I really feel we need to eliminate a lot of the product focus. Now, a lot of times these debt management companies or these financial literacy programs, a lot of times are really trying to get you to do their program, their debt consolidation program that costs you $99 a month, and they're going to pay all your bills for you for yourself. I don't really see how that helps. Now, for some people who don't have the discipline and self-control, sure, it may help. I'm pretty sure there's examples of folks where it help, but I don't really think on a mass level, macro level, that's helping anybody. Next one, number 5. Instead of teaching financial literacy, how about we teach actual financial topics like economics? I think economics is one we could teach forever and ever in a day. The law of supply and demand will forever and ever be relevant. Gas prices are down. Why? Because oil prices are down for the last, year, almost, down over 50%. What's the result of that? Can we teach people about that? Can we teach them how this is having an effect on their pocketbook and wallet? I would think so. I think that would be more beneficial than just teaching somebody how to balance their checkbook. Number 6, where are the possibilities? So in terms of money, is it just possible to balance your checkbook and to, buy a car, buy a house? I keep coming back to the same thing, because all of those things are what drive the economy, and that's what a lot of folks want you to do. But can you do something greater than that? Can you, feed 1 million folks? Can you clothe 1 million people? Can you send 1 million people to school? Can you start a company that's in the Fortune 500? Is it just so limited to that? I know as a youth, I think my vision and my sight was a bit limited, only because of my surroundings, and the people who I was around didn't really see any greater. But that changed as I got more exposure. I think the more exposure you give the people who are working on learning about money, the more they will want to do, the more they will naturally become ambitious. And that's what we want. And number 7, it just simply doesn't work. Again, we got $3.34 trillion in consumer debt. And that's not mentioning mortgages. So how is that really helping anybody? So those are my top 7 reasons why I hate financial literacy and financial literacy programs. Tell me what you think. Am I off base? Am I crazy? I still love money. I still love investments, but I just don't think financial literacy programs are the way to go. Can we call them financial mastery programs? Can we change the title? I would love to see that. I think, language is powerful. Words are powerful. Another thing, you'll hear me talk about this often, is my mother beat this into my head. Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So if we're just communicating to folks, we just want literacy, that's fine, and not mastery, then that's all we'll get, if that. So until next time, this is I Love Investments. I'm Kamari Ellis, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.